Pakistan, but also divided into provinces as well. In Pakistan, they have communities in KPK, in Punjab, in Sindh, in Balochistan, so and Gilgit-Baltistan as well. So they are the most victimized community. And in last few years, after demise of Ziaul Haq, I think he became the instrument of this lisani or religious sort of difference. कोई अंग्रेज नहीं है तो मैं मेरा उर्दू में बात कर लूँ अगर आप माइंड न करें किसी को कोई आपको कोई एतराज़ तो नहीं आई नो यू विल स्पीक इन इंग्लिश ऐसा हुआ है कि जब से ज़ियाउल हक जो है वो फौत हुए और वो आए और उन्होंने इक़्तिदार पे कब्जा किया तो उसने कोशिश की कि कम्युनिटीज़ को डिवाइड किया मजहबी बुनियादों पे लिसानी बुनियादों पे प्रोवेंशियल बुनियादों पे और आपने देखा कि बहुत सारे मदरसे बहुत सारी छोटी छोटी तंजीमें मर्ज किया उस दौर में और आज उसका जो नतीजा है हम देख रहे हैं कि आज पाकिस्तान के अंदर हॉरिज़ॉन्टली वर्टिकली हर लेवल पे लोग डिवाइड हैं औरतों के कोई हकूक नहीं है क्रिश्चियन के कोई हकूक नहीं छोटी कम्युनिटियों को पूछता नहीं है और वहाँ पे ये हालात है चलिए ये हालात वहाँ हैं लेकिन हम रहते हैं एक डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री में बरतानिया में और आज आप यहाँ पे हाउस ऑफ पार्लियामेंट में तशरीफ लाए हैं अपनी आवाज़ उठाने के लिए मैं शुक्रगुजार हूँ आगा मरज़ूक़ अली साहब का और लियाक़त अली का जिन्होंने इस मीटिंग के बारे में मुझे अप्रोच किया और चूँकि ABPG ऑन थर्ड वर्ल्ड सॉलिडारिटी जो है ह्यूमन राइट हो टॉलरेंस हो किसी मुल्क के अंदर विक्टिमाइजेशन हो हम ये आवाज़ उठाते रहते हैं हम बहुत खुशी है कि आप यहाँ पे तशरीफ लाए हमारे ट्रेजरर और खालिद महमूद MP जो कि मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट हैं वेरी पार्ट से आपको पता है कि अगले 2 महीनों में इलेक्शन होने वाला है बल्कि 57 days from today and I hope all of you will vote for your choice. We will recommend you to vote for Labour because we want to change. लेकिन आपकी मर्जी आप जिस भी पार्टी को वोट देना चाहें अभी बाहर जाओ मैकडोनल्ड आए थे जो MP हैं वो भी हमें ज्वाइन करेंगे उससे पहले कंजर्वेटिव पार्टी की जो मिनिस्टर हैं जूनियर हेल्थ की एम्बर वुड वो आई थी और आपके डेलीगेशन से मिलके गई हैं अभी खालिद महमूद साहब है और भी MPs आएंगे लेटर ऑन आपसे गुफ्तगू करेंगे और आपकी आवाज़ इन पार्लियामेंट की बिल्डिंग में उठाएंगे हमारा जहाँ तक बस चला हम भी उठाते रहेंगे मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा चूँकि खालिद महमूद साहब ने अभी जाना है बाहर उनके लोग वेट कर रहे हैं एक मीटिंग है इनकी और उसके बाद इन्होंने वापस कंस्टिट्यूएंसी में जाना है जैसे मैंने कहा इलेक्शन हो रहे हैं तो मैं इनको कहूँगा कि ये चंद अल्फाज कहें और आपको वेलकम करें खालिद महमूद साहब
Well, thank you very much for coming here today. And I think the issue that we have at hand is a significantly important issue for the Hazara community in Pakistan. I think the whole idea of having a state is that there should be protection afforded to all of its citizens. Human rights afforded, civil liberties afforded to all of the citizens. And any state that undermines any of those issues then has real issues that it needs to deal with. Pakistan already has significant issues in terms of terrorism, radicalization that it needs to deal with, and therefore I think this sort of issues that are happening with the Hazara community would further divide that community, and I don't think we want to be going down that sort of route in terms of what the state of Pakistan should be looking at. It is much simpler, much easier if you want to call yourself a democratic state, that you support all of the communities, whatever religion or ethnicity they are part of. And when you start to make those sort of distinctions in a clear state, that makes it very, very difficult for you then to be able to afford protection and support for all the people. That is something that I criticize wherever it happens. I've criticized it when it happens in India, in China, and in all sorts of places that it happens to. So I will keep my principles the same and say that whenever there's a real issue for us to deal with, then we should very, very seriously be looking at how we need to get that. As far as I'm concerned, I'm very happy to speak to the Pakistan government through the High Commission that's here to very seriously look at these issues. Abduction of 30 people, particularly in one instance, is a huge calamity, and that needs to be addressed by the state. There should be people coming forward to deal with that. In this country, we have an issue which concerns possibly 2 or 3 people, and quite rightly, the whole thing goes right through government, right to the person at the top, the Prime Minister, and it's dealt with, it's dealt quickly. If there are people who are aspiring to say that we are a democratic state, then we should act like one. That is the most important thing. without sort of saying, making all sort of issues about democracy and this, and sort of the arguments that are made currently about individuals, who is in charge and who is not in charge. It's what you do as a democratic state, not what you call yourself. If you just call yourself a democracy and don't follow the principles of democracy, then I think there is no democracy. So I think it's important that the government does that, and I'll certainly make sure that I can speak to as many people as possible to make sure that happens. So thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Had a safe journey and successful elections. अभी मैं जो है आगा हमारे मजरूक साहब हैं, जो बल्कि मैं पहले लियाकत अली को इनवाइट करूंगा कि लियाकत अली आए और इस मीटिंग के बारे में आपको बताएं कि इसका पर्पस क्या है और इसके पीछे क्या इनकी विशेष है। लियाकत अली हज़ारा
सबसे पहले मैं अपने मेहमानान ग्रामी का शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ कि वो अपनी मसरूफियात में से टाइम निकाल कर यहाँ पर आए, और जो 30 अफराद अगवा हुए हैं, किडनैप हुए हैं, उनके साथ इज़हार यकजहती के लिए यकीनन इंसानी हकूक़ का मसला है, और दाइश से मुतल्लिक़ जितने भी दहशतगर्द तंजीमें हैं उनमें से बहुत सारों ने ज़िम्मेदारी भी कबूल की है। तो आप लोगों के आने का शुक्रिया। हमें चाहिए कि मसलन इंसानी हकूक़ के हवाले से जितना भी हो सके, जितने भी MPs वगैरह यहाँ पे आ रहे हैं, जॉन मैकडोनल्ड अभी आए थे जैसे लशारी साहब ने बताया, और जॉर्ज गैलोवे साहब जो है 7 बजे तशरीफ़ लाएंगे, और भी एंड्रू जॉर्ज साहब है वो भी आएंगे, और 3-4 और MPs है जिन्होंने बाकायदा कंफर्म किया हुआ है कि वो तशरीफ़ लाएंगे और हमारे साथ, और जो अगवा शुदा लोग हैं उनके साथ इज़हार यकजहती करेंगे। तो 24 तारीख को ये वाक़या हुआ था, मगर सोचने की बात यह है कि अफगानिस्तान जैसी जगह में सिर्फ हज़ारा कौम के लोगों को क्यों टारगेट किया जा रहा है। ये उसी तरह है जिस तरह कोयटा में लोगों को शनाख्ती कार्ड चेक करके उनको बसों से उतारा गया, उनको मारा गया, उसी तरह बिल्कुल 2 लोकल बसों से अफगान हज़ारा को बसों से उतार कर दूसरी कौमियतों के बच्चों और मुसाफिरों को जाने दिया गया। और ज़ाबुल प्रोविंस की जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट है शाहजोई, उसमें यह वाक़या पेश आया 24 फरवरी को। तो मैं आप लोगों से अपील करता हूँ मीडिया के तवज्जुह से, मुश्ताक लाशारी साहब ह्यूमन राइट्स एक्टिविस्ट है, काफ़ी अरसे से इस चीज़ पर बात कर रहे हैं, और हमारे जो अभी प्रेस रिलीज़ वगैरह बनेगा उसमें इंशाल्लाह हम इसका जिक्र करेंगे कि इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी को या बैनुल अक़वामी बरादरी को इस नाजुक मसले पर आवाज़ उठानी चाहिए। तो जब तक हम सब मिलकर, जितने भी डेमोक्रेटिक फोर्सेस हैं, जितनी भी जमहूरी क़ुव्वतें हैं, चाहे वो यहाँ पर हो, चाहे वो अफ़गानिस्तान में हो, चाहे वो पाकिस्तान में हो, यकीनन अगर वो मिलकर मुत्तहिद होकर इन चीज़ों पर आवाज़ नहीं उठाएंगे तो ये दाश जैसी तंजीमें और उनसे वाबस्ता जितनी भी दहशतगर्द तंजीमें हैं वो इसी तरह, चाहे वो हज़ारा हो, चाहे पश्तून हो, चाहे बलोच हो, चाहे किसी और कौमियत से उनका ताल्लुक़ हो, उनको काटते और मारते रहेंगे। तो ज़रूरत इस अमर की है, ज़रूरत इस बात की है कि आज के दौर में हम सबको मिलकर इसके लिए बाकायदा कैंपेनिंग करनी चाहिए, हम सबको मिलकर इसके बारे में शऊर उजागर करनी चाहिए कि दहशतगर्दी में कुछ भी नहीं है। जो एक मखसूस तबका किसी से पैसे लेकर, चाहे वो सऊदी अरब हो, चाहे कोई और इस्लामी मुल्क हो, उनसे पैसे लेकर लोगों को मरवाना, ये लोगों को हमें बताने की ज़रूरत है, एजुकेट करने की ज़रूरत है कि ये इस्लाम में या किसी भी दीन में इसकी ममानियत है और इजाज़त नहीं है। आप सब मेहमान गिरामी बशमूल हाजी सादिक़ज़ादा साहब जो है, हमारे हाजी मरज़ूक़ अली साहब और मुश्ताक लाशारी साहब, और प्रेस वाले जो आए हुए हैं आरवाई से सैयद साहब और उनके साथी और दूसरे मेहमान गिरामी का शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ। बड़ी मेहरबानी, शुक्रिया।
जी अब मैं गुजारिश करूँगा, आगा में उल्टी चल रहा हूँ कि जो नीचे हैं नाम यहाँ पे, आगा मरज़ूक़ अली साहब के हाथ आए।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मैं थोड़ा फारसी, थोड़ा इंग्लिश और थोड़ा उर्दू है, because that is speaking Farsi is one bit, because a lot of people speaking here Farsi.
اردو نہ میں فون مگر انگلش سے
آل پارٹی پارلیمنٹری گروپ اپنا لاشاری صاحب جو ہے ان کا شکریہ ادا کرتا ہوں کہ انہوں نے یہ سارا بندوبست جو ہے ان کے تھرو ہوا ہے، اور کیونکہ ہیومن رائٹس کے گروپ سے تعلق رکھتے ہیں اور ہمیشہ ہی انہوں نے ہیومن رائٹس کے بارے میں کام کیا اور ہارڈ ورکنگ کیا ہے اس میں، تو ان کا آپ کو ایک نام ہے اپنا روز روشن کی طرح یونائٹیڈ کنگڈم میں اینڈ آل اوور دا ورلڈ. تو میں دوبارہ آپ کو شکریہ ادا کرتا ہوں ہماری کمیونٹی کی طرف سے. تو آج ہمارے سے موضوع کہ افغانستان کسی نفر کی کڈنیپ شدہ اغوا شدہ بردن شدہ لیکن آج 2 ہفتہ تقریباً زیاد شد 2 ہفتہ زیاد شدہ 30 نفر زندہ مزمین بسات آکدن بردن تا این روز معلوم نہیں ہے کہ انہاں زندہ سے یا شہید شدہ. یک پوائنٹ ہے وہ روزی جمع سے برای شدہ برای انجی جمع سے کہ بھئی اسی نفر گزارش حکومت افغانستان بالکل انٹرسٹنگ نہیں ہے میں نے اس کی بھئی میسیج بدائے یا نیوز بدائے یا خبر بدائے کہ اس نفر زندہ ہے یا مرد ہے. امیتر سیکورٹری افغانستان ہم جیسے بارے میں خاموش ہے اور تمام کلام بدنصیبی کے اثر برائے نو مردمی ہزارہ ہے کہ ہمو برائے نو کی دومی ریاست میں نے خودی افغانستان انہاں مرد بارے دی زبان پورا خاموش کی دیگا خاطر رضیم مو امروز ہمیں جی جب دی کہ مو کم نارم بیدار کرنی بابا اسی نفر دا گزاشن اینا تابال زندہ ہے شہید شدہ اینا مسخود فیملی درہ حساب کتاب درہ دفترہ درہ اولادہ درہ یا مادر درہ قدر درہ اخوار برار درہ یا بیسر و سامان خونی ہے سا بعد پس پوچھ کر قوم درہ قوم سے میں نے افغانستان ہے میں نے پاکستان ہے میں نے شکر الحمدللہ میں نے لندن ہے لیکن وہ باید صدا قبول کرنی اگر وہ صدا قبول نہ کی تو کی برای وہ صدا قبول کرنی دیکھا غیر قومہ خونہ مائے برای وہ صدا قبول نہ کرنی. تو اب میں تھوڑا سا اردو میں ٹچ دیتا ہوں کہ ہمارے ساتھ ساتھ بیٹھے ہیں لاشاری صاحب بیٹھے ہیں اور ہمارے سید صاحب بیٹھے ہیں. تو اصل بات یہ ہے کہ افغانستان میں ہمارے 30 بندے جو ہے وہ اغوا ہو چکے ہیں. اس 30 بندوں کا 2 ہفتے سے زیادہ ہوا ہے جو یہ بندے اغوا ہوئے ہیں. آج تک ان 30 بندوں کا معلوم ہی نہیں ہے. حکومت افغانستان بھی اس کے بارے میں بالکل خاموشی اختیار کیا ہوا ہے. کچھ نہیں کہتے ہیں کہ بھئی یہ لوگ زندہ ہے یا شہید ہو چکا ہے. ان کی ایجنسیاں بھی خاموش ہے. تو اس لیے ہمیں مجبوراً پھر لاشاری صاحب کو کنٹیکٹ کرنا پڑا اور ان کا مہربانی ان کا گروپ کا کہ انہوں نے اس پر لبیک کیا کہ ہاں ہم اس کے بارے میں سزا اٹھائیں گے آواز اٹھائیں گے. ابھی انشاءاللہ 4-5 MP بھی آ رہے ہیں یہاں پر. تو اس کے بارے میں ہم آواز اٹھائیں گے کہ بھی ہمارے 30 بندے کہاں گئے. آیا دن افغانستان ہوئے یا پاکستان ہوئے ہمارے بندے شہید ہوتا ہے کڈنیپ ہوتا ہے غائب ہوتا ہے. ورلڈ اس کے بارے میں بالکل خاموشی اختیار کیے ہوئے. تو اور دوسری بات یہ ہے کہ ہمارا جو لیڈرشپ ہے افغانستان کے بیچ میں انہوں نے بھی اس کے بارے میں بالکل خاموشی اختیار کی ہے اور وہ لوگ بالکل اس کے بارے میں صدا بلند نہیں کیا, کوئی پروٹیسٹ نہیں کیا. افغانستان میں بھی ہمارے لیڈرشپ جو ہے اس لیے ہمیں مجبوراً یہ قدم اٹھانا پڑا. اور میں آپ سب لوگوں کا بہت شکریہ ادا کرتا ہوں, خاص کر حاجی آغا صادقزادہ کا بھی کہ یہ لوگ ایئرپورٹ سے ہی آیا سیدھے یہاں پارلیمنٹ ہاؤس میں ہمارے حاجی آغا صاحب. تشکر شموع مذاکرات سیدھے جمع دی. The moment you guys today. Now I'm saying in English bit for you people to understand it. Why today we are there? We are there because we are living in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, in England. It's called Hazara tribe. And Hazara people is not divided, but our problem is this because we live in 3 different countries, even 4 in Iran as well we live there. Now our 30 people been kidnapped. 10 people was bomb blast before, after that. And because of these things, 30 people is kidnapped. We don't know if they are alive or they've been killed. The government of Afghanistan is very quiet about this. They don't say nothing about it. Their agencies, their network, they don't say anything about them. So it's our duty of Hazara people in UK to come there to find out from the government of Afghanistan to what's happened to our 30 people, where they are born, why been kidnapped, why your security system doesn't work properly. So for this reason we are gathering today here. And thank you very much all of you for coming here, and God bless you. Assalamu alaikum.
Ameri Sahib is Mr. You are here. Ameri is Mr. Ameri. I don't know what is your first name, but can I invite you to say he is representing the government of Afghanistan. He's from Afghan Embassy.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ameri Sahib.
سلام عرض میکنم خدمت شما و دوستای عزیزی که اینجا تشریف دارن. Thank you very much indeed. فکر میکنم که همه به اردو صحبت کردن و من وقتی متولد شدم مادر سوار مادری چیزی که به من یاد داد اولین بار آب بود، نان بود و تا هنوزم اون زبانی به فارسی صحبت میکنم و خیلی دوست دارم دوستایی که اینجا هستن. امیدوارم که خیلی زیاد براش ملال انگیز نباشه و من نکاتی را خدمت شما عرض خواهم کرد به نمایندگی از سفارت جمهوری اسلامی افغانستان و دولت افغانستان در لندن و خیلی خوشحالم از این که در جمع شما حضور دارم. اگر is it okay to talk in Persian or in English?
English will be better because that will be the common language.
No, because the majority of the audience is Persian speaking.
You
have talked in Urdu, so let me talk in English and in Persian.
The camera understands English.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. You can use any language which the purpose
So
is
a combination of English and Persian.
You can speak both.
Yeah, of course. اگر خاطرتان باشه حدود نزدیک به 3 هفته پیش حادثه تراژیک و ناگواری اتفاق افتاد در منطقه زابل و 2 بس مسافربری به نام غزنی پیمایی که از هرات آمده بود به طرف کابل حدود 30 تا 31 نفر از مسافرین این بس از بس پایین آورده شدند و متاسفانه به اسارت گرفته شدند و به جای نامعلومی برده شد. این حادثه بسیار تأسف‌باری بود هم برای مردم افغانستان، هم برای دولت و حکومت افغانستان و هم برای همه کسایی که دغدغه و دلنگران وضعیت و زندگی شهروندان هست و از حقوق بشر دفاع می‌کنند. برخلاف تصور عمومی که وجود داره در رسانه‌ها مطرح میشه، حکومت و دولت افغانستان و همچنین چیزی که آقای حاجی مطرح کردن، همه رهبران چی داخلی افغانستان چه رهبران قومی در افغانستان و همه نمایندگان افغانستان در این مورد نگرانی خودشان را مطرح کردند. منتها با چند توضیحی که من خدمت شما عرض خواهم کرد و نگرانی شما را برطرف خواهم کرد. رئیس جمهور در یکی از بیاناتش در سالروز شهادت استاد مزاری از یک واژه و مفهومی استفاده کرد تحت عنوان استراتژیک سایلنس، یعنی سکوت استراتژیک. این سکوت استراتژیک معنای بسیار زیادی داره و یکی از چیزهایی که وجود داره و دوستا با او حتما و با او آشنایی دارن. بس مثلا یکی چون این مسئله امنیتی هست و دوستان با مسائل امنیتی اگر آشنایی داشته باشن، خیلی از مسائل امنیتی را ما نمیتوانیم در رسانه ها مطرح کنیم. بنابراین به معنای استراتژیک سایلنس، به معنای نادیده انگاشتن و به معنای چشم‌پوشی از ربایش این 30 نفر یا از زندگی اینها نیست، بلکه به معنای است که ما خیلی از مسائلی که مربوط بشه به مسائل استراتژیک و امنیتی باید از رسانه‌ها پنهان نگه داریم تا اینکه جان اینا به خطر نیفته. در این راستا چند کار صورت گرفت، همونطور که دوستانم I'd like to speak because my predecessors, they have talked in Urdu, so I wanted to talk in Persian because the majority of audience are Persian speakers. So this is the President of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan has said that we have strategic silence. And strategic silence does not necessarily mean that we do not have to take any initiatives and pursuing to rescue the life of these 30 people who were kidnapped. As far as the strategic and security issues are concerned, the government and all Afghan institutions are obliged to keep them away from the medias in order to keep and protect the life of the people who are kidnapped. In this regard, the issues were raised in Afghan Parliament, the issues were raised in the Afghan Security Council, and the Ministry of Defense and the Ministry of Interior are closely involved in settling and addressing this issue. So before that, the Afghan government tried to take use of hard power and soft power. The priority of the Afghan government was to use the soft power. That was to negotiate with those people who kidnapped these 30 passengers. Therefore, they have contacted to local elders from Galloway province that most of the people here know. They sent delegations to the villages and talked to some of those pro-Taliban elements there. But unfortunately, the negotiations failed. After that, the Afghan government tried to use hard power, and they sent military troops in order to rescue these 30 people. In this regard, in this operation, more than 80 people, more than 80 terrorist elements have been killed, and 4 to 5 people have been arrested, including a Chechenian women who are affiliated to the Taliban in Daesh and ISIS. These are the initiatives that have been taken, but unfortunately, because of the leakage of information, these people have been taken to another area, but now this is the priority, the first priority of the Afghan government to rescue these people. But as far as I have told you, as far as the security issues are concerned, the Afghan government are not allowed in order to disclose the information for the media. These are the initiatives. And as far as it does not mean that they have remained impartial, this is not the Afghan president, the CEO, Dr. Abdullah, and the deputy presidents, they have always coordinated with different institutions, with MPs, with civil societies. As far as those who have taken these people hostages are concerned, these are those who have affiliated recently with the Daesh and ISIS. The 3 commanders from Taliban, they come and join with Daesh. The leading person is the brother of Dadullah, who was killed 4 years ago in operation in Helmand. His name is Mansoor Dadullah. So they were kidnapped by those who have recently affiliated and joined Daesh. The place where they have been taken to is in Zabul province, which was previously known as Khakewan, but now it is called Khak Afghan. The Afghan government is concerned about the citizens of all Afghan citizens, and there is no difference between different social entities inside Afghanistan. And all Afghan citizens are equal before the Afghan constitution. So this is not the issue of one ethnic group in Afghanistan, but because of the challenges, because of the strategic environment in Afghanistan, unfortunately, these people from among the Hazara tribes were taken hostages and kidnapped. But the Afghan government has shown Hazaras, Tajiks, Uzbeks and Pashtuns have made a government of national unity, and now they represent neither Pashtuns, nor Hazaras, nor Tajiks, nor Uzbeks, but all Afghan citizens. The president, the deputy president, CEO and his deputies, they represent all the Afghan nation. And also, I'm very much thankful for this Hazara community and the MPs and who have shown interest in pursuing this issue. And also, I am to tell you that tomorrow we welcome you to the Embassy of Afghanistan in order to host you here and to serve your petition with the presence of Mr. Ambassador. So if there is any questions, I would like to answer. If not, then so I would like to hear from you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ameri. I think you can come on the top table if you don't mind and sit with the other colleagues. It is always difficult because this is the first meeting I'm hosting under APPG from Hazara Communities, so I don't know who is who. So thank you very much, Mr. Ameri, for your information on these 30 abducted Hazara people. We have Andrew George, Member of Parliament from West Cornwall and Isles of Scilly. And he has joined us, and he's here for a few minutes. So before him, I would like to invite Haji Sadiqzada, who is representing Ayatollah Mohki Kabli in UK and Europe.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم و به نستعین. تشکر میکنم از دوستای محترم، از مسئولین محترم حضرات کمیونیتی و از اعضای محترمی که در اینجا تشریف آوردید. همه شما تقدیر تشکر. دوستای محترم، من لازم میدونم خدمت دوستان عرض کنم یک مسئله که شرایط افغانستان در گذشته مردم هزاره در افغانستان با توجه بر تاریخ گذشته‌ای که ما در افغانستان داشتیم از سه محور باید نگاه شود: مسئله مذهبی، مسئله قومی و مسئله منطقه‌ای. از نظر مذهبی متعلق ما با جامعه شیعه افغانستان هستیم و
آقای صادقزاده ما می‌خواستیم که حرفای شما را ترجمه کنیم به انگلیسی. اگر شما می‌خواستید به ما ترجمه کنیم یک در حرفا رو که زدیم ما رو باید که ما ترجمه کنیم.
Can I request Sadiq sir take notes of his speech and at the end briefly tell us what he has said?
Okay, that's fine.
کدام قسمت شما؟
این نمیشته کنم ما را بعدا
آقای خانم همون تو خوبه یا کم کم؟
فرق نمیکنه. خب روی ما صحبت ما با در این جمع طبعا طرف صحبت ما نماینده‌های پارلمان هست و دولت انگلستان. انتظار ما هم از مسئولین دولت انگلستان هیه که به خاطر که جایگاه و نفوذشان در قضیه افغانستان و تاثیرگذاریشان در جامعه بشری مشخصه. در این پارلمان ما شاهد بودیم و هستیم که در گذشته ها تصمیم های خیلی بزرگی برای مسائل انسانی و مسائل بشری توسط افراد بزرگ گرفته شد و ما امروز که اینجا آمدیم همین انتظار را داریم از دولت انگلستان، از پارلمان انگلستان در رابطه با حقوق بشری انسانی هزارها در افغانستان جدیت به خرج بودن و تلاش بودن هم در رابطه با از نفوذشان در دولت پاکستان استفاده کنند و هم از نفوذشان در اعضای سیاسی در قضیه حکومت افغانستان. حقیقتا هزارها در افغانستان قربانی خشونت بیشتر از هر زمان دیگر، بیشتر از هر موقعیت دیگر. در دوران دموکراسی و در دوران قبل از دموکراسی شما شاهد بودید که هیچگاه هزارها در هیچ نقطه افغانستان اینا خشونت طلبی نکرده، جنگ نکرده، حمله نکرده، بلکه هر زمانی که در افغانستان جنگی بوده و نیروهای خارجی آمده بیشتر کسی که سهم گرفته برای آزادی و آبادی افغانستان هزارها بوده. اما متاسفانه با توجه به این که بیشترین قربانی را داشته و داره کمترین استفاده و بهره را برده. الان هزارجات و نقاط مرکزی افغانستان از نظر امکانات و از نظر بودجه هایی که در اختیار دولت افغانستان گذاشته شد در طول چندین سال متاسفانه هیچ بهره وافی و کافی را نبرده. آبادی در حد زیر صفره، در حالی که بودجه های دولتی و ملت های سازمان ملل سر به میلیاردها دلار رسید ولی خشونت در هزارجات هیچ امنیت به تمام معنا وجود داشت و متاسفانه بهره برداری و هزینه‌ای که باید میشد در هزارجات نشد. نه تنها الان در خود هزارجات، هزارها به عنوان یک کتله قومی و به عنوان یک کتله مذهبی متعلق به جامعه شیعه در افغانستان متاسفانه در خطر بسیار بیشماریه، هم در رابطه با در داخل افغانستان، در نوارمرزی ها، در مسیر راه، در داخل حکومت افغانستان. ما انتظار ما از جناب آقای امری به عنوان نماینده سفارتی بوده و هست قطعا این حرف و سخن مردم را به دولت افغانستان منتقل کنه. ما نگرانی های خود داریم و این مسئله با این که مثلا فرض بفرمایید که 21 نفر حالا یا آزاد شود یا شهید شود به این مسئله اکتفا نشود، بسنده نشود و یک سنت سیئه راه نیفته. در حقیقت یک نقطه آغازیه. هزارها یک نقطه مظلوم، مردم مظلومی بوده که هر کسی به هر شکلی از هر نقطه‌ای که بخواد در افغانستان حضور خود تثبیت کنه از هزارها شروع کرده. داعش یا طالب، پرچم سیاه یا سفید، او فرق نمیکنه. مهمه که جان مردم در خطر و در مخاطره بسیار شدید و متاسفانه در این قسمت دولت افغانستان هیچ گونه حق حکومتی خود ایفا نکرده و انتظار ما از دولت انگلستان و از حقوق بشر، نهادهای بشری، سازمان ملل و نهادهای انسانی و طرفدار حقوق انسانی است که جلوی کشتار، جلوی تهدیدها را بگیره و اگر امروز جلویش گرفته نشود تبدیل شود داعش به یک قدرت برتر و بالاتر، متاسفانه امنیت کل افغانستان از هم پاشیده خواهد شد و بیشتر از هر کسی خود کسایی که در این راه سرباز خود فرستاده، بچه‌های خود فرستاده و مالیات مردم مصرف کردن، اینا بیشتر از هر کسی خودشان هم آسیب ببینن و ثمره همه خونهای شهدایشان هم برباد خواهد رفت. این یک مسئله. مسئله دوم در رابطه با مسئله مذهبی. ما به عنوان یک شیعه در افغانستان زندگی میکنیم و شیعه هستیم. ما دو مسئله داریم. یکی این که انتظار داریم شیعه بودن ما را به عنوان یک مرزبندی عقیدتی با کشورهای همسایه نداشته باشد. ما شیعه هستیم، ما شیعه افغانستانی هستیم، شیعه هزاره هستیم. منافع کشور ما، منافع مردم ما، منافع قوم ما فارغ از همه مرزبندی های سیاسی کشورهای منطقه و کشورهای همسایه است. کما اینکه ما نمیخواهیم به عنوان شیعه بودن، یعنی حسابی که نسبت به موضوعات کشورهای همسایه و دخل در افغانستان میشه، با او دیدگاه از او زاویه نسبت به هزارها نگاه شود. برای اینکه ما شیعه هستیم اما در کنارش منافع مردم خود داریم، منافع کشور خود داریم، متعلق به یک جغرافیای سیاسی به نام افغانستان هستیم. این دو مسئله سوم خود شیعه در کلیت در افغانستان و در همه دنیا خودشان همیشه مظلوم بودن. شما در تاریخ هم دیدید امام اول از نظر ما، خلیفه چهارم از نظر همه مسلمان‌ها در میان مسجد ترور شد. امامان معصوم ما را پیشوایان دینی ما، مراجع بزرگ تقلید ما، حضرت آیت الله العظما محقق کابلی همیشه فتوایشان نظرشون اینه که خشونت نکنیم و با خشونت جلوی خشونت ها را نمیتونیم بگیریم. ما بلکه با ملایمت و با مسالمت و با صلح طلبی و با دست دراز به سوی برادری و اخوت میتونیم افغانستان آباد و آزاد داشته باشیم. من حالا هم به عنوان یک طلبه و به عنوان نماینده آیت الله العظما محقق کابلی در سطح اروپا و استرالیا و کانادا و آمریکا و از این تریبون به خدمت همه شما دوستا و به خدمت همه نمایندگان پارلمان و هر کسی صدای ما میرسد دو مطلب را عرض میکنیم. یک نکته اول این که حساب ما مردم افغانستان، مردم هزاره و مردم شیعه در داخل افغانستان از حساب کشورهای همسایه جدا حساب کنیم. یک مسئله دوم، ما در داخل افغانستان هم در داخل افغانستان در مشکل و مخاطره هستیم، هم در بیرون مهاجرین ما که اینجا میای به عنوان پناهندگی احساس میکنه در کشورهای مختلف اروپایی متاسفانه توجه نمیشن، به خاطر که میگه در داخل افغانستان امنیت هست، در حالی که امنیت برای اگر همه کی مردم باشه واقعا برای هزارها خود شما میبینید در هیچ نقطه امنیتی به اون صورت و ثبات نسبی که باید داشته باشه وجود نداره. انتظار داریم در این قسمت توجه بیشتر داشته باشین. و السلام علیکم و رحمت الله و برکاته.
Haji Sadiqzada, the representative of Macmillan in Europe, come here to show solidarity with the 30 kidnapped Hazaras in Afghanistan, which has happened around 2 or 3 weeks back. So my hopes are from the UK government, specifically from UK government and the European governments, that they should raise our voice as a human being and show their solidarity with the Hazaras who are kidnapped by the terrorists, by the extremists in Afghanistan. Hazaras always remain the victims of terrorists in Afghanistan and elsewhere. So what we are here today to show the solidarity with the hostages, and we hope that the UK government would do their best to make the possibilities of their release. And even though we are Shia Muslims, but we have got nothing to do with the other neighboring Shia countries. We don't have any links. Ethnically we are Hazara, and religiously we are Shia Muslims. However, we are always being targeted due to our religions, affiliations, due to our ethnicity, and due to our poor and lack of political awareness. So the government of Afghanistan is still silent on these hostages. I request from the government of Afghanistan to do more rather than remaining silent on the issues of 30 Hazaras. We know the histories of Hazaras in Afghanistan is very, very suppressed. The Hazaras in Afghanistan in the past always remain the target, the soft targets of the extremists, as well as the soft targets of racial discriminations. the Hazaras will remain always peaceful and love peace. They will never react because of their belief in democracy, in peace. I, as a representative of Mawqif Qabli, therefore say that we are Shias in Afghanistan, we will remain Shias in Afghanistan or elsewhere. However, we should not be targeted because of our religion, and this is the violation of international law and the violation of human rights or the violations of government of Afghanistan. The protections or the surety from the government of Afghanistan. This is what I have to say today, and thank you very much for having me here.
Haji Sadiqzada Sahab, thank you very much, and Sadiq, thank you very much for your translation. It was good to know. I think on behalf of Third World Solidarity, we do agree with you, Sadiqzada Sahab, and we demand and request the Afghan government, but as Mr. Ameri has said, because of security reasons, and who know Afghanistan as a country is going through a transitional period. We have seen that 2 times elected government has gone, and now new elected government with a consensus has developed, as Mr. Ameri said, that President is Ashraf Ghani and Chief Executive Abdullah. So it was the 2 candidates of president who got the maximum votes, and now they are running the government, and I hope it will be a stable government and it will try to look after the citizens of Afghanistan. And we also demand from government of Pakistan and state of Pakistan to look after the Hazara community living in Pakistan as well. And that is our demand. It will remain your duty, the people who live here, Liaqat, Marzooq Sahab, Sadiq Sahab, to campaign for the people of Hazara wherever they live and raise the profile of them. I'm really thankful to Andrew George, who has come and listened to our previous speaker, and now I will ask Andrew George to come and share his thoughts with everybody in this room. Thank you.
I think I can keep that.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry I don't speak Russian.
Good to know.
Yeah, I'm sorry I don't speak Russian, but I speak English. In fact, it's relevant in a way. I speak Cornish, and actually one of the messages really which I would convey to you and those who are standing up for the beleaguered Hazara, those who have been kidnapped, and indeed other the Hazara and other minorities in Afghanistan is really Britain's role, if it has any role at all in the world, and it has no right any more than any other country to have a say in countries like Afghanistan, is to really encourage and support a stable government, and I think that, as you rightly said, that is I feel like a sign of progress in Afghanistan. We cannot, and it wouldn't be appropriate for the United Kingdom or the United States, certainly, definitely not any other country, to believe that they know better than the people of Afghanistan how to govern themselves. All we can do is to will, encourage and to support emerging democracies, countries that have been in conflict and have gone through the kind of recent conflict and difficulties which clearly Afghanistan has done. I hear your messages this evening. You've seen, of course, that the United Kingdom and indeed other countries believe that we could play a role from 2004, especially in Helmand province, but across the country. A lot of people in this country, I think, described our role as a war in Afghanistan. I mean, I never used that language. I always said that our engagement there was about peacekeeping and nation building. Yes, we had to use hard hats rather than berets in order to do that job while we were there. But our role wasn't to engage in war. We weren't at war with the Afghan people, after all. We were working with the Afghan government and helping a country which had been appallingly beleaguered, a poor country that deserved our support, providing we did it with the consent of the people there as far as it was possible to do so. So, I mean, the recent events and the impact this has had on destabilising the sense of security for the Hazara people is something which I think we very much take on board here. I mean, if there is any role to the United Kingdom in any way to assist, and I heard the plea for the United Kingdom to play a role. If it is appropriate, then of course it's important that we convey that message to the Foreign Office, to the UK government, to make sure that if there is a constructive role which they can play, that they do. I mean, I am a Liberal Democrat member of Parliament. I'm not a government minister. I'm not here to speak on behalf of the government, but simply to say that whether it be Afghanistan or indeed any other nation on earth, that clearly the only long-term solution to the kind of problems which you have and indeed exist in other countries is to respect the identities of the people and the different peoples that exist within those nations. As I mentioned earlier, that I'm a Cornishman, I'm not an Englishman. We have a Cornish language, but we're not at war with the English, and we hope that the English are not at war with us. We aren't kidnapped by other people. We're respected and tolerated, I hope more than tolerated. And I think that is absolutely essential when it comes to finding an established way forward for the people, whether it be the people of Afghanistan or the people of any other nation on earth for that matter. So, I mean, I hope that the fact that you have some British parliamentarians who stayed after the House is closed to show a sense of solidarity with you, the Hazara people, and to say that we stand shoulder to shoulder with you in seeking a country which is able to live at peace with itself, where all peoples within Afghanistan respect each other, acknowledge each other and respect each other. We know that we're a long way from that. But we still feel that we in the United Kingdom, if there's any role we can play, we obviously want to try and do that, working with your government and with your people. So thank you very much indeed for inviting me. I'm sorry I can't stay for very much longer. I can see that George Galloway has arrived, and I'm sure that he's never short of a word or two on these or indeed any other matter, but certainly this matter, and is a highly respected voice on these issues. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay.
You can, thank you very much. I think we had already a minister here to meet us, Amber Rudd from Hastings, exactly, yes, and then Khali Mahmood was here. Hopefully he will be a minister after 8th of May, possibly. And thank you very much, Andrew, for coming and joining us. As you said, this is the right cause, and we should raise it as and when and where we can.
Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I invite, can I welcome my brother George Galloway? Thank you very much. I think our history goes a long way with George, so I wouldn't repeat it, otherwise we will be here for a very long time. And we are expected, I think. Say your name, young man?
Yeah, John McDonnell.
I know John McDonnell.
Seth. My name's Seth.
Sam is here on behalf of John McDonnell. He will be joining us soon. But before I invite my brother and a friend for a long time, can I ask Sadiq Khan, who is a president of Hazara Community in Milton Keynes, to come and say a few words? Sadiq Khan.
In the name of God. Thank you very much, Lasharie, and thank you very much, the representative of Mohke Kawali, Haji Sadiqzada, and Honorable MP George Galloway, and Ameri, the representative of Afghan consulate in UK in London, and of course Haji Agha Marzooq Ali, the Hazara tribes leaders, and Mr. Liaqat Ali Hazara, and thank you very much, especially the media outlets, especially ARY and other media outlets here. I would like to raise a voice, being as a Hazara, ex-president of the Milton Keynes Hazara community, about the 30 kidnapped Hazaras in Afghanistan. My honorable colleagues have already shown some shower on about this topic, and I'm just gonna add up a few words, a few points about the Hazara issue. The Hazaras issue is not only limited to Afghanistan, it's also spread through the 3 more countries, specifically Pakistan and Iran. The discrimination, ongoing discrimination against Hazaras have a very long history. That has started from Afghanistan specifically, and it has continued till now. This is really a shame that the world international community has not voiced our voice very effectively. What I'm trying to say, that the international community has the responsibility to raise the voice of the minorities, specifically who are suffering due to their ethnic discrimination, religion discriminations, and socio-economic discrimination, and other social discriminations. This is happening in the 21st century in these 3 countries. I'm here to say why the international community is not raising our voice, why they are not hearing our voice. They are supposed to be the supporter of the humanity. They are supposed to be the champion of democracy. They are supposed to be having the power to deal with such issues. And especially UK government, especially the European government, they can influence the government of Afghanistan to do more. It has been more than 3 weeks since the extremist group which have link to these ISIS or to the Daesh. That's what they claim. That's what when they kidnap the poor people like Hazaras, the ethnic minority like Hazaras, they claim that they are from Daesh, they are from extreme group. But what I'm trying to say, that where is the international community? I can see the seats are now empty. We have invited many people here to come and listen and raise our voice. So now I'm requesting from my bottom of my heart, as a representative of the Hazara community of Milton Keynes, that the international community should listen and raise our issues in the Parliament, in the European Parliament, I'm sure they have raised the issues of especially Palestine, and the issues of Kurds who are struggling for Kurdistan, and the issues of other minorities in the European Parliament and the UK Parliament. But why not Hazaras? They have to raise the Hazaras issue, because this Hazaras issue is not new. It has a very violent and a very suppressive history in Afghanistan. If we go back, starting from the era of Abdul Rahman, that if you see that 62% of Hazaras has been exterminated, wiped off from the face of earth because of the discrimination, because of the religious discrimination, and because of the ethnic discrimination against them. And that policy has been continued till now. And I demand from the government of Afghanistan and the international community to do more. It's not one, it's not two, it's 30 Hazaras who have families, who have children. And if you multiply 30 by 3, then it's going to be 60 to 90 people. They are suffering, and nobody listens. The media, especially the international media, is very quiet on this issue. So we live in 21st century, what's called global village. In global village, they should know what's happening in Afghanistan. They should know what's happening in Quetta, Pakistan against the Hazara. They should know what's happening in Iran against the Hazaras, where there are lots of discriminations happening. I would not take your much time. I really appreciate all of you are coming here. Welcome, most welcome, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much for a very passionate appeal, Sadiq. But can I tell you that in this parliament, if you get 6 parliamentarians coming to your meeting, it is not unsuccessful. It is a very successful meeting. So let me congratulate Liaqat, Marzooq, and who have worked very hard to bring in the parliamentarian. Means I can fill this room with 100 people. But if there are only 1 or 2 MPs, that is a very successful meeting. So can I tell you that your voice is being heard, but you and I have to work harder to approach our MPs, approach our lords, approach our local councillor, approach our community. Can I have a little announcement for everybody? And I hope you will be able to turn up on Monday as well, because once you start coming to this parliament, meeting your MPs, meeting other parliamentarians, meeting other people, then you can raise your voice. You can make friendship with them. You can invite them. As I said, I know most of the parliamentarians because I have been coming here for past 33 years now. And the first time I came here was a gentleman, and I hope George will join me on 16th to remember him, was a Tony Benn, who we will be celebrating his life on Monday in Wilson Room to talk about his life, who died last year on 14th of March. And I want to invite you all to come to that meeting, and I hope 6 parliamentarians will be there. And I will say that it is the most successful meeting if 6 parliamentarians turn up. But I hope you all will come and speak to those parliamentarians about your issues, about Hazara Communities issues, and that is how you build the campaign. Palestinian meeting, whenever it is held, and it was held last week in Wilson Room, and I came there by Kabul and back, and there were at least 20 parliamentarians, including 3 ministers. And do you know who were the ministers? Trish Morris, who represent Middle East, and I know the minister usually, and George know more than me, don't turn up to the controversial issues, whether it is Kashmir or Palestine, but they turn up. And Saida Warsi was there, who resigned on Gaza issue from a governmental ministerial position. So yes, when you built up your campaign, I know 1 person kidnapped is bad enough. If 30 people are kidnapped, that means 30 families are affected. And when 15 people are killed in Quetta, or 30 people are killed in Quetta because of their Hazara community representation or their religious or cause, then it is too much. But let's work together to raise our profile and our issue in front of the European and other communities, right to United Nations. Liaqat is doing a lot of hard work, support you. And I think it is a great to have a representative from Afghanistan Embassy here sitting with us. I hope you will all join me next week as well on it. And with that, can I invite a gentleman, a person who has always stood for vulnerable people in the world, whether it is Palestine, whether it is Iraq, whether it is Kashmir, whether it is Cuba, whether it is Venezuela. John Galloway, Member of Parliament.
And the Secretary of a second Member of Parliament. So in this very young man, you are talking to two MPs. So don't be disheartened, because Mushtaq and I have attended many smaller meetings than this, and especially when it comes to members of parliament. And sometimes you have bad luck. As far as I know, the House is no longer sitting this evening. We're in the middle, actually, of the longest general election campaign in history. And frankly, the House closes down right after Prime Minister's questions on a Wednesday nowadays. There's no business, and everyone heads back to their constituencies looking for votes. I don't have to worry about that sort of thing. MashaAllah. So I'm honored to be here with you, and I wanted to gently and with all affection and respect challenge one or two of the things our brother from Milton Keynes has just said. He said we were the champions of democracy here. In fact, we're the champions of hypocrisy here. This is the scene of many crimes in this building. And I hope you enjoy it, because you helped to pay for it over centuries. And this is the scene of many crimes against the peoples of the world. From this building, small building, in the capital of a small country, fully one third of the entire population of the earth was once ruled. And fully 25% of the earth territory was once governed. And we didn't do it because we loved you. We did it because we wanted to steal from you. That's what imperialism is. It's going to other people's countries and stealing their things. We may have preferred a religious minority or two, but not for long. Britain ruled the entire subcontinent of India with 60,000 people. And its population was then 500 million. That's quite a feat. 60,000 people ruling and looting 500 million people, and we could only do so by dividing and ruling, by favoring this group over another, and then a little later holding out the prospects of favoring that group over the first group, and maybe even following through and doing it. So, insofar as pre-existing ethnic and religious and sectarian divisions exist in your region, you can be sure that perfidious Albion, of whose powerhouse you are now sitting in, has left its mark on that, exacerbating, accentuating sectarian and ethnic differences. That's what the British Empire did for centuries. And the two MPs represented in the form of Seb, Mr. Corbyn, and Mr. McDonnell, and I, are amongst the very few in this Parliament who will speak this way. Because we are not afraid. We have nothing that they can take away from us. And we want nothing from them. We don't want ministerial office. You are adumbrating all these people who are going to be ministers after the 7th of May. Let me confidently tell you, I will not be a minister after the 7th of May. Unless Ed Miliband is in want of a majority of one, and I'm that one, then I'll take the Foreign Secretaryship in exchange for my vote on important issues. But they won't make me the Foreign Secretary because I know them too well, and I have opposed them all of my life. I have the honor to be of Irish background, and we were the first colony of perfidious Albion. And we were divided and ruled, and settlers were placed amongst us so that they could act as an advance guard for the colonial power, England and Scotland. Some may say, some may question, why are you having this meeting here in Britain? What does this have to do with us? And here I must apologize to His Excellency, the representative of the Afghan Embassy, because I'm going to say some things he will not like, but he will, I know that I must say what I believe, not what finds favor. We're having this meeting here for two reasons. First of all, and Mushtaq was a part of this, in this building, I and Mr. Corbyn and Mr. McDonnell warned throughout the 1980s that the policy being followed by the imperial powers in Afghanistan was pregnant with absolute disaster. You see, again, with respect to my friend from Milton Keynes, there was a period in Afghanistan when good things were happening, when schools were being built, when girls were going to schools, when girls were going to universities, when girls could move around freely, when land reform and other reforms to the feudal autocracy in Afghanistan was being challenged, and the British government did everything it could to destroy it. And in so doing, they joined forces with the very revanchist, sectarian, fanatic, extremist criminals that have kidnapped these poor Hazaras over these last weeks. There was no fanatic that Mrs. Thatcher and Ronald Reagan were not ready to stuff with money and weapons and diplomatic and media support. Mrs. Thatcher paraded them on the platform of the Conservative Party conference, calling them freedom fighters, Bin Laden, and the other Al-Qaeda elements, and of course those forces from which the Taliban themselves emerged. Ronald Reagan did the same. Catch Rambo 5, the Hollywood movie, is dedicated to what they call, watch to the end. You'll see in the titles, this film is dedicated to the freedom fighters of Afghanistan, by which they meant those who became the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. I was one of the very few who stood alone with few others, and I had the honor, it's an honor for me, on the eve of the fall of Kabul, to the murderous rabble who took power. I told Mrs. Thatcher to her face, and I'll quote myself if you'll forgive me, quote, "You have opened the gates to the barbarians, and a long dark night will now descend upon the people of Afghanistan." I never said a truer word than those words. And that's what happened. And so that's the first reason why we should be having this meeting here. The second reason is this. The current regime in Kabul, which my friend from Milton Keynes implicitly denounced for their failures, is only in power because of us. It was appointed at the point of British and American bayonets and rockets and bombs. and has been the recipient of hundreds of billions of dollars of taxpayers' money from here and from the United States and elsewhere in the world, in Europe, in Japan and elsewhere. And no attempt has been made to secure fair and legally just guarantees from the regime that we put in power. Far from it. That regime stole a very substantial part of the money that the taxpayers gave to Afghanistan. So you are right, brother, to say, where is the British government which put these people in power, stuffed them with money and weapons when it comes to atrocities like the one you're gathered here this evening to discuss? It is, of course, a part of a wider picture. The rise and rise of Takfiri, Wahhabist, fanatic forms of Islam has also been helped both proactively and negatively by Western powers. Shame! It's a fact. Iraq is a disaster because Britain and America invaded and occupied it. There was no Al-Qaeda in Iraq before Bush and Blair invaded and destroyed it. Now there's tens, scores, maybe hundreds of thousands of Al-Qaeda in Iraq. There was no Al-Qaeda in Syria before Britain and the United States and France and others poured money and weapons into the hands of these murderous, heart-eating, head-chopping fanatics. This is not a digression, because of course, as you said, the very people who are kidnapping and murdering in Afghanistan are part of the same mindset, part of the same gang. Some of them are even declaring their allegiance to a self-appointed caliph in Mosul. In Nigeria and Borno, Boko Haram. In Sirte, in Libya, another imperial success story. They destroyed Libya, and look what the result is. Now they're complaining about it. They're cutting heads off in Libya. What a surprise. What did you think they were going to do? These Al-Qaeda that you put in power in Libya. This is a Western product for two reasons. First of all, the injustice being visited upon the Islamic world by the imperial powers and their illegitimate child Israel is fueling recruitment to young men and young women, for that matter, to this cause, to this banner. You don't have to believe me, believe them. They tell you on their videos, they're martyred on videos. I'm about to destroy myself and many others because of Iraq, because of Palestine, Gaza, and so on. But we're also responsible proactively because we are operating, a phrase I used to use all the time in the 1980s and 90s in here, on the absolutely immoral principle that my enemy's enemy is my friend. Sometimes your enemy's enemy is worse than your enemy. And that's certainly the case with this phenomenon that we are, or I am, this evening describing. I don't know how we can get your hostages freed. I dare not think about what has happened to them. And I dare not predict that there will not be more. Because, of course, there is every prospect, forgive me again, Your Excellency, that when the foreign soldiers upon whom the regime in Kabul rests depart, that these revanchists will be back in power again. All I can do, Seb can do on behalf of the two MPs he's representing here this evening, Councillor Mushtaq, can do is promise you that we will keep the faith. We will keep talking, keep raising, keep highlighting the hypocrisy, not democracy, for which this country is rightly infamous throughout the world. I want to spend just 2 minutes more on the issue of Pakistan. 2 weeks ago, I attended a demonstration, not much bigger than this meeting, in the centre of Bradford. There are not many Shiites in Bradford. Many people told me, don't go, you'll lose votes. I told them, and I told the gathering, I cannot be silent whilst sectarian murder is taking place. And if you ask me to be silent about it, then you are part of the problem. We have to tackle this takfiri mentality that wants to and indeed glories in Muslims murdering other Muslims because they pray like this rather than praying like this. What kind of Islam is that? There is one God. There is one Quran. There is one Islam. The idea that you can cut the throat and drain the life's blood of someone because of some narrow doctrinal difference is a blasphemy against Islam. And I will not be silent about it, whatever the consequences. And so, when we see these bombs in Quetta and elsewhere, many places elsewhere, this is the product of this dark mentality which is growing. It's not, of course, the majority of Muslims. It's not the majority of Sunni Muslims. Many of the victims of it are themselves Sunni Muslims. But it does exist, and we cannot pretend that it doesn't exist. And we must fight every excrescence that it brings forth. I was many times at the ancient Iraqi archaeological sites from the Assyrian period, 10 centuries before Jesus. I marveled at them, marveled at how they were protected and invested in. And then I saw on the news last week the bulldozers destroying the ancient artifacts and civilization. The same thing happened in Afghanistan with the Buddhist shrines. They say that they did this because of their view of the ancient civilization. As someone pointed out in the newspaper this morning, what next? Are we going to try and destroy the sun because some people used to worship it? I thought it was a very powerful point. The respect for other cultures, other religions, other civilizations, the respect for the treasures of history is of course the true Islam, and it's the Islam that we must fight for. Wassalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, George. And as George Galloway came late, he didn't hear what I introduced this meeting with, and it was that the cause of this whole atrocities which we are facing today was Ziaul Haq, who started it with the support of Margaret Thatcher and Reagan. And we remember Sandy Gall, who used to visit every day on the mountains and say, these are our freedom fighters. And now they are all terrorists. Shazam, yes, we will come. And another thing which he very rightly pointed out, it is the double standards which we are facing day out, day in the Western world, that they have forgotten the Charter of 1951, Charter of United Nations, on which it was based, that United Nations should be used to stop the wars, not to start the wars. And we know that the resolutions on Palestine and Kashmir have been passed in 1948 and nothing has happened, but the resolutions on Iraq and many other, when they are passed, within days they attacked it. And can I, George, one thing, and I love it, I appreciate sometimes the British Parliament, because British Parliament was the instrument to stop attack on Syria a few months back, and I hope you were one of those who voted against it. And I think we should appreciate the Member of Parliament who voted against that war in 2003, and there were 149, I remember exactly figures, and they stood in the Hyde Park with many other friends, with over 1 million people from British societies, and they are the people of British society who are electing George Galloway, John McDonnell, Jeremy Corbyn, and many others who lead our struggle in this Parliament. So when we are disappointed that the government is hypocrite, they are double standard, and they, yesterday's freedom fighters are the biggest terrorists of today, but we also know the history, what happens when you stand with wrong people. And I think the very important thing which he raised as well, these ancient sites, whether they are in Afghanistan or in Iraq or in Syria, were there when Islam came into existence 1400 years ago. Because these ancient sites are sometimes 4,000 years old. And if Prophet Muhammad didn't destroy them when he conquered these countries, why today this terrorists are destroying it? They are not Muslim, that's why they are destroying it. They don't believe in Islam, you and many other people believe in it. And the start of this war, George will again remember, started in 1974. I was part of that Islamic conference in Lahore, and my friend Ahmed Ali Sayyed from ARY is sitting here, who might have covered it in Lahore, George Galloway, when Zulfikar Bhutto invited the 54 then Muslim countries and said we should stand together to fight the menace of the Western world and developed world. So the history, we were always on the right side, whether George Galloway in the Parliament or out of the Parliament. And I think we should remember, we should always remember that there were people who were raising these voices, and today we are again raising voices against the stream of many countries, but we will keep on rising this flag, and it is very important that we should rise. I think before John comes in, if you can text him that we are going to conclude our meeting in next 5 to 10 minutes, if he can join us. Otherwise, if there is any question or anybody want to respond, we always welcome everybody and anybody to contribute, because this is the norm of third world solidarity, because we believe in you, not us only. So anybody want to comment? Shah, you wanted to say something.
Well, there's one very important, and I think it's the first time I've heard it put it so frankly, like Mr. Galloway, the British or the English, they learned this, the imperial practices and subversion. They started very close to home, like Wales, Scotland, there wasn't there. And they practiced so well. You know, it's a big statement of fact, historical. We just talked about Zia's legacy, the legacy of the British and the subsequent there. It's a very interesting, you know, what the standing against the establishment, the Welsh or the Scottish, the Irish. I think I was talking to a Scottish man when I was up in Glasgow there, and he was saying that at one time wearing a kilt or speaking the Scottish language was tantamount one. I think they were hanged for it. So it's a very, I give credit and being outspoken and very correct and historical. Thank you. Mr. Galloway, I watch your program and your comments on the television. You're doing good, and you're a Muslim brother, and also, I suppose, what he mentioned about the way whether it's the Americans or British in there, it's very controversial issue what's happening in Israel or Middle East, and what's happening, in all of them. And you put it very correctly. All those lines drawn on the map as a legacy of the British. Those in power sometimes, in their high democratic values, they go in league with the devil in terms of suppression.
Thank you, Shah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Any other comment?
Yeah.
Yes. Say your name as well if you
want. Tawfiq. I'm from the London community, the Municipality of Cultural Station. By the name of God, I just have one question and request regarding the embassy. His brother Ameri is here. I was thinking here, Brother Dawda has to be here as well, or all other community from our country, which is all Tajik brother, Pashtun brother, Uzbek brother, whole, because we're all Afghan. And this is to do with the Afghanistan citizen, not just because of the Hazara. I hope for the next meeting, and I'm going to raise in my voice as well, and I have a good connection with those people as well, and all around London and UK, and I was hoping for the next meeting or the next meeting or the next meeting, if anything has happened like this, it has to be all Afghan citizens, not just Hazara people, if something is got to do with Hazara. We've been in Badakhshan, things when it's come from all community, from Qari Wakil to Brother Dawda to everyone. I'm asking only from the embassy why we are not together in here. If there is any rule or there is anything, the embassy can do it. In our community, especially in London and UK, and personally myself and all our members are going to support that one to come under one name and under one name of Tawheed, or however they call it the name. In any case, when they came, we have all come together and solve this problem in Parliament, not just each nation separately.
Thank
That's
you.
all. Thank you.
Yes, your name, please.
Rajiv.
Yeah.
Basically, my own knowledge is based on the internet and the Western media. As far as I know about the Muslims have the two major tribes, Sunni and Shia. And these two Muslim party, they live in Afghanistan, not from the decades, from the centuries. We all witness about this, not just in Afghanistan, but the rest in the world as well. We have never this kind of problem that Shia kills Sunni or Sunni kills Shia. These things, we recently listening to these things. And from where does it come? And how does it come to the circle of the Muslims and they're dividing the Muslims? Anyone have doubt in that in Afghanistan there's since the day Shias come, they live from the last almost 300-400 years. We have never problem with that. From the last 35 to 40 years, we've been attacked from the Soviet Union, and after the Soviet Union, our own inside fight with different issues and the political things, with the power, all these things. And now we're looking for the new things come up. Alright, America comes with the will of Pakistan. Alright, they give them everything. Alright, you come to the Afghanistan, destroy Afghanistan. There's one gentleman mentioned about the Buddhists in Bamiyan. Every Afghan knows that's our own national interest. If that Buddha was there for today, why did the government go that stability to develop that area and put the visitors in the area, and you can make good business opportunity for the local people. As every Afghan knows, but we know this as well. That wasn't the inside jobs. That was the outside job, with influence in Afghanistan.
Thank you. Thank you, Reza. I think we have said it. You were a bit late. We have said it, why it was started and why we are accelerating it. It is as George said. Reza, you have commented, so please now. Yeah, thank you very much. He commented that this is divide and rule. That's why whole Middle East, when it suits Western world, the democracy, it is fine. If it doesn't suit, Hamas has won election, but they didn't allow that. Morsi won election in Egypt, didn't suit it. If it is Colonel Gaddafi, they want to kill him, destroy him. If it is Bashar al-Assad, they want to destroy and kill him. If it is King Suleiman, it's fine. So it is the double standard which we have raised, and I think I will ask my honourable guest to respond to these three questions. Any other? Yes, briefly please, because I know we have 5 minutes left. So.
My name is Haji Muhammad.
Haji Muhammad.
Yes. And I'm living in London. My question is that we are today here because of our 30 people who kidnapped. And my question is, what happened in the world, the victims are Hazaras. Always Hazaras targeting, always Hazaras are genociding in Kuwait, in Iran, in Afghanistan, in everywhere. And as you know, Hazara people are those people who believe in human rights, who respect the human rights. As you see, where Hazara people live in Afghanistan and everywhere, the most peaceful places, and we respect the human rights. But we don't know why we are the victims. And my question is from the Britain government, who has most power in Afghanistan, we don't want to be the victims again and again and again. We are really tired. Our people are tired. Our people are suffering from this situation which is continuing for long times. And only Hazaras are the victims. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
As long as we talk about this, only Shia, Sunni, the solution will never come. As long as we get together as Afghan nation, not Sunni, Shia, not Muslim, all Afghans.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Shahzad, can I ask, obviously, they want to comment on your questions and answers, and then I will conclude the meeting. I will start from right. I know Haji Mahmood Saab, Agha Marzooq once said, because we are easily identifiable, and some of the nations who are living in that part of the world have never accepted our past, and they are still annoyed with us. So that was his comment, not mine. But I think I agree that you are sometimes easily identifiable. But let me
easily identified.
Let me say another thing. On 16th of December, when they killed 150 children, they were innocent people, totally innocent. They have not provoked anybody. They didn't do anything. They came in and they came there to kill them. So the people who are killing or kidnapping you or Hazara community are not Muslims. They are not kidnapping it because you are Hazara or Shia. They are trying to kill and kidnap anybody wherever they can. So I think I will ask panel to respond to these 3-4 comments, and then I will conclude. Agha Saab, you want to 1 or 2 minutes, please, not more than that.
Like I said before, Mr. Dawood said, why the Hazara people will kill very easy everywhere. Because like you said, we recognize very easy, because our look, the way we build up and recognize very easy from thousands of people, if you stand together, you can recognize with Hazara, and with Baloch, with Afghan, with Pashtun, and with Punjabi. The main reason is this. The other reason, we are very soft target, because we are a very peaceful nation. And we don't go revenge or take gun or like them suicide mission and this and that. If you kill one of them, they will kill 10 of you. That's their ideology, you know, shoot to kill, shoot to kill. That's their killer. We are a very peaceful nation, and the second thing is this, we are very soft target. Okay, thank you.
Yes, Mr. Lee.
Thank you very much. Just on the role of embassy. The Afghan embassy is the...
He introduced the first old age